They don't leave a note. They don't scream. They just go. And by the time someone notices, it's already too late. He doesn't scream. He doesn't ask for help. He doesn't make a scene. He just goes quiet. At first, it seems like something small. One less comment at the breakfast table. A smile that didn't come. An opinion he chose not to share. A blank stare into the void, while the conversation carries on as if he's not even there. It's subtle. So subtle that no one notices. And little by little, he starts to disappear. Not physically. He's still there. But inside, he's drifting further away. Days go by. The visits grow rare. Messages stop coming. Calls no longer arrive. And that quietness he once had becomes permanent. A silence filled with pain, abandonment, and absence. But no one asks. No one insists. No one sees. How many elderly people are like this right now? Giving up on life not because they want death, but because they no longer see a reason to keep going. Not out of malice, but out of neglect, out of busyness, out of not knowing how to handle the weight of time on the shoulders of those who are growing old. Do you know someone who slowly stopped smiling? Comment yes if someone just came to your mind. And maybe this is the moment to do something for them. Talking about suicide is already hard. Talking about suicide among the elderly is almost forbidden. Feels like too heavy a subject. Too uncomfortable. Families prefer to pretend it's just old age sadness. Society stays silent. Churches stay silent. And while everyone avoids the topic, lives are being quietly lost. But what few people know, or are willing to admit, is that suicide rates are actually higher among the elderly than among the young. That's right. Those who have lived the longest are the ones giving up the most. They don't jump off buildings. They don't make a scene. They just stop. Stop taking care of themselves. Stop eating. Stop fighting. And slowly they surrender to an end no one wanted to see. This isn't just a mental health issue. It's an issue of abandonment, neglect, and silence. How many lives could have been saved if someone had the courage to speak up? Comment, no more silence, if you believe this taboo needs to end. No one wakes up and decides to die. The desire to die grows slowly, after many days of fighting alone. It's a buildup of things most people don't see, or don't want to see. The loss of friends. A body that no longer responds like it used to. A mind that feels forgotten. A family that only remembers when they need something. Conversations that now revolve around pills and appointments. That constant feeling of being a burden. And then comes a point when the pain of staying feels heavier than the fear of leaving. Many elderly people don't want to die. They just can't bear this faded, lonely, undervalued existence anymore. They wonder, would anyone miss me? Would anyone even notice if I were gone? Does my life still mean anything in this world? And the saddest part is, they often don't have those answers. Because no one says it. No one shows it. No one affirms. You still matter. If you could say something today to an elderly person suffering in silence, what would it be? Write it in the comments. Maybe your words will reach where no one else has. Often, the call for help doesn't come in screams or tears. It comes in silences and small signs that go unnoticed. They start avoiding gatherings, stay isolated in their rooms, refuse invitations to go out. That sparkle in their eyes slowly fades away. Conversations get shorter, answers become dry. Hobbies that once brought joy are abandoned without explanation. They say things like, I've lived long enough. I don't want to be a burden. My time is coming. But to those around them, it just seems like tiredness or a passing bad mood. What few understand is that these small signs are silent screams from someone who is giving up. A sign that the mind is too tired to keep fighting. Have you noticed any of these signs in someone close to you? Leave a yes in the comments if you've seen this happen. Loss in old age isn't just physical, it's emotional, daily, and silent. They live in constant mourning for lost health, for independence slipping away little by little, for friends who have passed, for the absence of a spouse, for a routine that will never be the same. But this pain goes unrecognized by most. There's no ceremony, no comforting words, no hugs that can heal the emptiness growing inside the chest. It's invisible grief, unseen and misunderstood. This emptiness turns into deep sadness, which can develop into silent depression, a poison that slowly drains the will to live. And when this feeling is not embraced, the mind begins to consider that the end might be the only escape from the endless pain. Have you ever seen someone going through this kind of silent grief? Share in the comments or just leave a heart to show you care. Many people think deep sadness in old age is just fussiness, weakness, or just part of getting old. But it's not. When an elderly person shuts down, loses their appetite, neglects personal care, and withdraws from others, it's not tiredness, it's a silent scream. A cry for help that almost no one notices because it's hidden behind silence, isolation, and apathy. It's essential to understand that this pain deserves attention, care, and respect, not judgment or disdain. Have you ever seen someone ignored because they were just sad? Share a like if you believe we need to listen more and judge less. Loneliness is silent but powerful. It eats away at the soul and weakens the body. Studies show that loneliness can be as deadly as heart disease. Many elderly people live surrounded by family, yet feel completely alone, emotionally abandoned. They need more than physical presence. They need true connection, conversation, and attention. When the heart feels empty, life loses its meaning. If you've ever felt this loneliness or know someone who does, write, "I'm here" in the comments. Sometimes just knowing we're not alone helps lighten the burden. Many elderly people who think about giving up on life don't truly want to die. What they really want is an end to the constant suffering. The physical pain, the pain of loneliness, the weight of loss and meaninglessness. They want to be seen, heard, loved, but when they can't have that, the will to live fades away. What's missing isn't life, it's hope. Have you ever known someone who just wanted to ease the pain, not end their life? Share a like to show that you understand this silent struggle. You don't need to be an expert to help. Sometimes just being truly present is enough. Listening without rush, without judgment, with an open heart. An elderly person who feels that someone genuinely cares, someone willing to listen, gains strength to keep going. Suicide prevention in old age often starts with a simple act. A phone call, a visit, a sincere conversation. Who in your life needs this presence today? Tag that person or say, "I'm here" in the comments. Your gesture could save a life. Talking about suicide in old age is still a huge taboo. But the more we avoid the subject, the more lives may be lost. Many believe that talking about it might encourage the act, but it's actually the opposite. Open conversations create a safe space for elderly people to express their pain, doubts, and fears without fear of judgment. When we give voice to this topic, we show them they are not alone, that help and hope exist. Silence, on the other hand, creates an unbearable weight. An isolation that only deepens sadness and despair. Imagine how many elderly people could have one more chance at life if someone had the courage to start this conversation. Talking about suicide is an act of love, not encouragement. Have you ever had the courage to talk about this with an elderly person you know? Comment yes, or not yet but I will try. And remember, your voice can save a life. Family and community are the front lines in the fight against suicide in old age. But they don't always realize how essential they are, or how to act. Many family members struggle to deal with the suffering of an elderly loved one, especially because talking about death is taboo, and talking about suicide is even harder. Sometimes the response is to minimize the pain by saying, "It's just old age," or "They're just tired." This denial, though it may seem like a protective mechanism, can push away those who need help even more. It's crucial that family and friends learn to recognize the signs, offer non-judgmental listening, and create a welcoming environment where the elderly feel safe to open up. Beyond that, the community has a powerful role. Support groups, churches, senior centers, and social services can transform feelings of isolation into a network of hope and care. Shared care saves lives, and reinforces the value and dignity of those growing older. Do you know a family or community that needs to hear this message? Tag them in the comments. Together we can break the silence and save lives. Even in the darkest moments, hope can be reborn. It arises when someone offers a helping hand, a listening ear, a sincere word. For elderly people facing suicidal thoughts, constant support and human care are essential to regain the will to live. It's not enough to make a single gesture. What's needed is a true, ongoing commitment, from family, friends, professionals, and society as a whole. Every conversation, every visit, every act of kindness is a brick in rebuilding life. It's important that elderly people know they are not alone, that they are valued, and that they still have so much to give and receive. And even when the pain feels unbearable, there are paths to healing and peace. If you know someone facing this struggle, show that hope can win. Leave a supportive word in the comments or share this message. Because life at any age deserves to be lived with dignity, love, and hope. If this video touched your heart and made you reflect, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps spread this message to more people who need to hear it. And subscribe to the channel to get more content that speaks the truth many avoid, bringing information, prevention, and support to those who need it most. Together we can break taboos and save lives. Click subscribe now and be part of this chain of kindness.